tout le monde, happy Tuesday, and welcome to the very 44th episode of Squad Vlogs. I say happy Tuesday, I'm coming at you a day late. I had like an 18-hour day yesterday, and so I didn't do a video, but this is what I've been wanting to do for a bit, so I am gonna make it right now. If you can't tell, I'm a little tired. These next 2 weeks are really busy for me. I have a couple projects in my different classes coming up, as well as my performance for Midsummer Night's Dream. So I'm very excited for that. And I think like the project for my French class I'm excited for too, because it's about something I'm interested in. But that is besides the point. I'm just going to be busy. Also, sorry for missing last week. I just forgot. Yeah, so without further ado, you have read the title of this video, so you know what we're gonna be doing. I can't wait to do this. We are doing a Harry Potter books and movies tier list. You know I gotta get that tier list going. I am a huge Harry Potter fan. I wear this pendant all the time, and I am going to take this time to share my opinions on the books and movies with you all as they currently stand, in expectation of the coming Secrets of Dumbledore movie, which I'm very excited about. Anyways, without further ado, here is my tier list. Hello and welcome to the tier listening. Just a quick note, I just wanted to let you know, you might see at the bottom of the screen, it has one of the first Fantastic Beasts movie, as well as a couple of the supplementary texts. But for this tier list, I'm just, and the Cursed Child, but we don't talk about the Cursed Child. For this tier list, I'm just going to be doing the 7 Harry Potter books and the 8 Harry Potter movies. So yes, that's the plan for this tier list. Secondly, you will see the tiers are listed according to the 6 different OWL levels, which of course are O for outstanding, E for exceeds expectations, A for acceptable, P for poor, D for dreadful, and T for troll. And so without further ado, let us begin. Yay! Okay, I'm going to start with my strongest opinions, and go from there. So of course, start at the beginning, right? And I will start with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. The first Harry Potter book, one that started it all, honestly a classic. My mom always says that if you don't like Harry Potter, what you need to do is you just need to read the first chapter of the first book. And I don't know how many times this worked for her. I know it's worked at least once. It worked on my brother. That after he read the first chapter of the first book, he got hooked. So, word of advice for Potter fans, that if you have people that don't like it, just get them to read the first chapter of the first book. Just get them to try it out. And so, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, for me, is going in outstanding. That's acceptable. It's going in outstanding. These are subject to change, by the way. I really like this book. I think it is a great introduction to the world. And yeah, it's an outstanding, but I'd be okay bumping it down later. Maybe I should just go in order. Maybe that's the best way to do it. Okay. Next we have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. My connection with this is, I know my brother, when he was younger, he had a Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets birthday party. I remember that very distinctly. I think this book is very good. The first 3 are like interesting, because it's like the first 3 are kind of their own thing, and then the last 4 are kind of their own thing, because like book 4 is like longer than like books 1, 2, and 3 combined. Not quite that long, but it's a big jump. So book 2 is kind of like the middle child here of that like beginning part of the series. And so I would say that it goes in, exceeds expectations. It's not my favorite of the books, but it's certain, I do think I like the beginning ones better. Just as like that introduction, like to the magic. Just vibes, really. Yeah. Okay, book 3. This is a lot of people's favorite book, I think. I know it's my mom's favorite book. It is the only one that Voldemort isn't in, which is cool. And also it introduces some cool characters. Sirius Black, of course. I was always partial to Remus Lupin. I think he's cool. At least at the beginning of the series. I think Prisoner of Azkaban is also gonna go in exceeds expectations. Just because I really like those first 3 books. I think they're very solid. I think the only one that really rises above is the first one for me, though. Okay, book 4. So, one thing about the first 3 books in book 4 is that when I was reading the Harry Potter books when I was younger, my mom actually made me stop and like take a break before I could read book 4, The Goblet of Fire. I don't remember when exactly. I think I had to be in 3rd grade before I could read it. And I had started reading them younger, or I started reading them in 3rd grade and I had to wait until 5th grade or something. I don't remember. But I did have to take a break because it is the first one, spoiler alert, that kind of deals with like death in a big way. It has the return of Voldemort at the end of it and starts getting into like some of those darker themes. Whereas, like, you know that scene in Mulan where they're singing the song about what kind of woman they would want? What is it called? It's called, I don't remember what it's called. But in Mulan, they're singing the song about like, oh, I want this kind of woman, whatever. And then they come up to like the destroyed campsite that was destroyed by the Huns. That is what the end of book 4 is like. That like transition between like the happy-go-lucky. It wasn't all happy-go-lucky. They like get like darker and darker as it goes on. But kind of still that like magic, like big magic world. And it gets like dark. And then afterwards it turns more and more into like a war kind of thing. War, death, stuff like that, like darker themes. And so book 4 has a lot of like interesting stuff in it. The Yule Ball is cool. I like the international students and the introduction of that. I think I am also gonna put book 4 in exceeds expectations. Are you sensing a trend here? And by the way, they're not really in any order. That's just kind of just how they go in. Whatever. Okay, book 5, Order of the Phoenix. Order of the Phoenix is my least favorite Harry Potter book. When I was reading it growing up, I thought it was boring at certain points. It was hard to get through towards the end of it, I remember. Or there was like a chunk where I was like, this is so boring. So, because of that, I am going to put it in poor. I know, it's a fall for sure. I do think it is the black sheep of the family of the Harry Potter books. Yeah. Yeah, and the Order of the Phoenix element of it is cool. Like, and I meant the Dumbledore's army element of it. That's cool. Umbridge sucks, obviously. I'm sure that brings it down. I think that brings it down. And yeah, it's really just vibes though. I'm not really diving into any of my reasoning for this. This is just vibes. And I might revisit this later and like explain a lot more. But here is this tier list is my haven't read the books in a while. Just vibes based off of what I feel is appropriate in this moment. Anyways, to continue, oh, I should, because I looked at this yesterday. So, for the rankings, for the OWL rankings, you have outstanding, exceeds expectations, and acceptable, and those are all passing grades. But poor, dreadful, and troll are all failing grades. And you might be wondering, oh my gosh, Order of the Phoenix, it's in a failing grade category. But anything that gets a P, so students at Hogwarts got a P on one of their OWLs, they do have the opportunity to retake it. And so I would say that Order of the Phoenix, it's not completely lost for me. It does still have its, capability to redeem itself. It does have some redeeming qualities, so I wouldn't completely just toss it away. Okay, next you have Half-Blood Prince. It is the 6th Harry Potter book. It is when they first start going and hunting the Horcruxes, which is kind of cool. Also dark, like I said. And also Dumbledore dies. Spoiler for that too. I guess. I think I'm gonna put Half-Blood Prince in acceptable, cause I find it better than Order of the Phoenix. It was easier to get through. The element of them becoming more teenagers and stuff. So basically they're 16 in this book. So this is kind of when the hormones and stuff really start ramping up, and you see some of those relationships coming together, which is something that I think is cool. And just overall, I think it is better than Order than the Phoenix, but not as good as any of the other ones. So that's why it's going in acceptable. And then finally, the last book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So, fun fact, I'm just gonna plop it up right in outstanding. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows is my personal favorite Harry Potter book. I just think it wraps up very nicely. I really like the ending of the story. I remember reading it for the first time and really appreciating the sacrifice that Harry makes at the end of it, and just that story about love being so central is something that I really like, and I feel like this book really exemplifies that. And good triumphing over evil, fun stuff. But yes, I think this Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows is definitely my favorite Harry Potter book as of right now. Who knows? That could change. But yeah, so outstanding along with the first. I kind of like that it's bookend, So the first book and then the last book are both outstanding for me. Okay, moving on to the Harry Potter movies. Okay, down here is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and this movie has so much nostalgia for me. Really even more so than the books, because I've revisited the movies more than I have revisited the books, just because it's easier to watch a movie than it is to read a book. It takes a lot less time. So I do wish I had revisited the books more, but I do feel like I'm more familiar with the movies in general. That doesn't mean I think they're better. I do think the books are better, because that's just true. But the movies, I feel like I'm gonna have a better sense of than the books. But Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, definitely lots of nostalgia there. The soundtrack, John Williams knocked it out of the park. I know the names of the songs. That's how much that's how much I know about this movie. And I definitely think, without a doubt, it goes in O tier. Outstanding. I always say it is such a good, like, introduction to, like, the magic and to, like, the world building of Harry Potter. I think they totally, like, nailed it with all of that. It just gives you such a warm and happy feeling when you watch it. I just appreciate it so much. Okay. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. When I referenced my brother's birthday party, this is like what I was thinking of, because a lot of it was based off of the movie. I think it's good. I remember distinctly, it's like when Daniel Radcliffe's voice starts to change. That's what I remember a lot about it. Because in the first one, it's like a lot higher, but then it's noticeably like he's starting to go through puberty in this movie. And I think that's funny. I think this movie, I think I am going to put it in E tier. Like I said, just vibes. Because I still think it's really good, but it doesn't quite hold a torch to the first movie, like the other ones. Yeah, well, it doesn't quite hold a torch. Even though it was done by the same director, Chris Columbus or whatever, it's still, and it is still part of that, like, world building aspect of it. I still think that the first one is better. Okay, third Harry Potter movie. This one is interesting. It was done by it was so different director. I believe it's like Alfonso Cuarón. That was a French pronunciation for a Spanish name that I should not have said, but I can't pronounce it. But it is very interesting. If you consider the first Harry Potter movie to be like a Christmas movie, because it has that very iconic Christmas at Hogwarts scenes like in it, this movie is definitely more of like a Halloween movie. Because I think it opens with the Macbeth song with the frog choir, which wasn't in the books, but we still like it. And it also has like the werewolf aspect to it. It's got the pumpkins in it. So this is very much more of like a Halloween movie. I think it's very well done. I think it's like experimental and stuff, and I like a lot of what he does in it. I would say that it belongs in, I think it belongs in outstanding, but like I wish I could put it in like exceeds expectation 0.5. You know, I don't think it's better than like the others, but it's not quite there. I guess the question is the movie better than the 3 Harry Potter books that I also put in exceeds expectations? And that I'm not so sure about. It's a standalone movie though. I think it works really well. I think I'm going to amend my statement. I think I'm going to put it in exceeds expectations. But I do think of like some of the movies aside from the first one is probably the best. Is what I would say. Okay, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I liked this one a lot. There's one complaint that I've heard a lot about it that I definitely agree with, is that so first of all, they didn't show the Quidditch World Cup in it, like, at all. He just, like, at the beginning, they go to watch, like, the Quidditch World Cup, and it's basically, like, Wizard Super Bowl, like, times 10, you know? And they don't show it, like, at all. They're like, let the games begin. And then it's just, like, shows them partying afterwards or whatever. So I do wish we had seen more of that. Even though I'm not a huge, like, Quidditch person, I do wish we had seen more of the Quidditch World Cup in that. Additionally, the maze got done dirty because there's, like, so much interesting stuff in the maze in the book. But I still, yeah, okay. I do remember I liked Harry's look in this book the best. Also, it had dragons. I can't believe I didn't bring that up before with Goblet of Fire. It has dragons in it, but so does the first one. But this one has more, and this is where you like learn more about the dragons. It was really cool to see them. I really love the little like baby ones that they have in the tent, where it's like the little dragon figurines. They sell like plastic ones at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and I am really close to buying them, even though they're egregiously overpriced, as everything is at that park. But they're just so cute. They're just so cute. But anyways, back to the Goblet of Fire. I think this one belongs in A tier. Oops. I'm gonna put it there because I'm not doing it in any specific order. Yeah, I think this one belongs in A tier. I think it's better than Half-Blood Prince. It's kind of like Prisoner of Azkaban movie, that I think it's like better, but it's still not quite there. But the dragons are definitely keeping it up. That it's like, it's almost to E tier because of the dragons, and it's better than the Half-Blood Prince book, but still it doesn't quite exceed my expectations, you know. But it is acceptable. I also really liked the age line in this. Oh, and I didn't even talk about the Did You Put Your Name in the Goblet of Fire? Of course. Yeah, see, it has its faults. I think it belongs in acceptable because of these well-known faults in the fandom, even if it is a pretty good movie. Yeah, okay. What's next? Oh, now we get into more of like the nitty-gritty, like darker stuff. You can see the like posters for the movies get like darker and darker and darker. Like you have this light, and then like this green, and then oh, it's night, oh, it's like stormy, and then where are we now? We're at Order of the Phoenix. Dun dun dun. Order of the Phoenix movie, like the book, I do think it was kind of boring. I will say I liked the Fred and George scene, and the song Fireworks that like goes along with that is very good. So I really liked the fireworks scene. I think Umbridge was very well played in the movie. And I liked the introduction of the Room of Requirement. But overall, I don't love, like the character of Harry in this movie. I think, I don't know. I would say, I think I'm gonna put this in acceptable. But like, it's still not on the same level as the Goblet of Fire movie was. But I think the movie is better than the book. I think it's at least more like interesting than the book. Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that. Movie 6. Harry Potter et le Prince à demi-singe. That's not the correct title. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. All I'm seeing is like the death of Dumbledore scene. Yeah. I think I don't so much love like the darker. I feel like 5 and 6, when it comes to the books and the movies, they're more forgettable for me. And and I think if I come back and revisit this, I'll have a lot more opinions. But I think Half-Blood Prince movie, I'm gonna stick it with Order of the Phoenix book. Yeah, I think it belongs there. Yes. Okay. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. If you'll recall, the Deathly Hallows was my favorite book. I would say that the Deathly Hallows are probably my least favorite movies. Yeah. Just because I can't remember. Because this makes a difference. Is the Harry Hermione dance scene in this one, or is it in Part 2? I think it's in this one. But I could be wrong. I don't like that scene so much. I also remember, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2, I saw both of them in theaters. Because that's about the time when I saw them in theaters when I was in 5th grade. So I must have read the books, like, before that. But I remember them coming out. I remember, like, seeing the posters for them in the theaters. And I remember going. I would say this one probably most of all disappointed me just because I felt like it was stretched out. Like, this supposed to be, like, hunting Horcruxes the entire time, and they find, like, one. And I'm like, really? Which could be more to do with the pacing of the book that I am complaining about, that I just don't remember. But I remember just being unsatisfied with the ending of this film. I was like, oh, that's where it ends? Okay. It ends on, like, an interesting scene, because it's, like, Voldemort finally gets the Elder Wand. He, like, takes it from Albus Dumbledore's tomb or whatever, on the middle of this island. I remember thinking that was dumb, but, and just being like, oh, that's a weird ending. But, yeah. Are there any good things I can say about this film? It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't remember that much. It's very nitty-gritty. There's this one, I think, yeah, this one must start with the wedding. So that's nice. Oh, this has the weird scene with Ginny in it, doesn't it? Oh, that could be Half-Blood Prince. I don't remember. Anyways, for this reason, I am going to put it in dreadful. I know, so sad. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. No, leave. Yeah, because I just remember being, like, very unsatisfied with it. Yeah. Okay. And then, finally, the finale, Part 2, Deathly Hallows, Part 2. This one I remember very specifically. I went to the midnight premiere of this. And I dressed up. I, like, wore my robes, and with my neighbor and my mom, because I was in 5th grade and I was too young to go to it by myself. And, like, we all dressed up. I remember a lot of people dressed up and stuff. I remember the movie posters of, like, Harry facing Voldemort and the Elder Wand in the middle being, like, up all over my little movie theater. And I remember more, like, the experience of this and, like, going and seeing it. So there's definitely, like, that strong memory for me. The movie itself, I still didn't, like, love it as much as I really loved, like, the book. I thought the Voldemort dying scene was kind of weird. But I do still love, like, the themes of the series as a whole, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have much to say. I would say I'm gonna put it in pee. Because the thing that is holding it up is the nostalgia that I have. Yeah. That's what we're gonna go with. I don't have much more to say. I'm really tired. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed my little tier list of my Harry Potter book and movie rankings. I do think I'll definitely come back and revisit this after reading the series and watching the movies again. But I did have to make a video, and this was a pretty easy one to make. So there we go. Anyways, hope you guys liked my video this week. I don't think I'll be winning any Oscars for it, but that's okay. I still made a video. And that's more than I can say for some of you. Anyways, I know it's a really busy time for everybody, this second half of the semester in particular, especially is ramping up for me, I think for the rest of you all as well as we get into finals. So it's okay that we're missing some videos. We're still here. We're still making them when we can, you know. So I will be excited to see, first of all, who posts this week, and second of all, what you guys are posting. I will catch you later on this week, and vielleicht, hoffentlich bis Montag.